Welcome back to the Church of Atheism podcast. We are Chrisless once again, so it's just me, Trav, here today. I was looking for some inspiration or motivation or something, to kind of get me, something I can do a podcast on. And really quickly after I did that, after I started looking, I should say, came across a WordPress website. And this article is entitled Clever Questions Atheists Can't Answer. This is from creationsciencestudy.wordpress.com. It's about 4 years old, but some of these are pretty good. So I started reading through a couple of them and I was like, alright, I think this is what we're gonna do. So yeah. These are some great questions. And by that I mean they're pretty ridiculous. Uh it's a long list, so I'm probably gonna do half now, and then Chris and I will meet up later on this week and record part two. I think is what I'm planning on doing. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop down this list here. So here we go. Again, from creationsciencestudy.wordpress.org. These are 48 clever questions atheists can't answer. Good luck us, I'm going to do my best to try to answer these. If creationists can't do science, then why do Kent Hovland and Dwayne T. Gish? Oh my god, I'm an idiot for mispronouncing that one. Who are creation scientists? Read this again. If creationists can't do science, then why do Kent Hovland and Dwayne T. Gish, who are creation scientists, have professional degrees in science? Uh, First off, what is a professional degree versus just your run of the mill degree? Are they different? Which one's more important? The professional? I mean, it sounds more important. Secondly, no one's saying creationists can't do science. It's just that if you understand science for the most part, it's hard to be a creationist because they, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Conflict. So you can be a scientist and be a creationist. It's just you have to make that decision. No one's saying you can't do that. Atheists aren't saying you can't do it. We're saying it's difficult and highly unlikely. Yeah. So yeah. Well, there's one question I could answer. So let's try a different one. Let's try number two. If dinosaurs turned into, this is my favorite one. You can just stop listening after this question. They all go downhill from here. No, they're all good. This is just gonna show you the direction you're going down. Number two. If dinosaurs turned into birds, why are we not afraid of them? I'm gonna give you a second to chuckle or whatever, roll your eye roll, and I'm gonna read it again and I'm gonna try to answer it. So, if dinosaurs turned into birds, why are we not afraid of them? Yeah. Actually, some people are afraid of birds. It's called, I'm gonna butcher this, but it's, ornithophobia. It's the fear of birds. So, people are afraid of, birds. And number two, you're not afraid of dinosaurs strictly because they're dinosaurs. You're afraid of dinosaurs because, well, if you were near one, if there was a real dinosaur next to you and it wanted to eat you, it could. Uh, Chickens don't have that luxury. I'm not afraid of, being 5 feet away from a hungry bear because it's a bear. I'm afraid of it because it can eat me. And so can you for such a stupid question. Number three, homosexuality is right. Then how come two people of the same sex not produce a child? Yes, I didn't misread that. That's exactly how it's worded. Homosexuality is right. Then how come two people of the same sex not produce a child? But assuming me, then how come people of the same sex can't produce a child? And well, that's because little Timmy, whoever wrote this, you should have asked your parents this question before you challenged an atheist. That's because two people of the same sex have the same parts. Therefore, a seed can't fertilize an egg if both have eggs or both have seeds. I mean, a homosexual could donate a sperm, and a lesbian could take that sperm and get pregnant with her egg. So, they can produce a child. They just not in, yeah. So, that's 3 for 3, sir. 3 for 3. What purpose do we have if evolution isn't... Wait, number 4. What purpose do we have if evolution is real? This is a pretty good question, actually. Um, but who says we have a purpose? It's kind of a dark question, I guess, and kind of a mood killer. So, if you're listening to this buzz, I apologize for killing the mood. But who says we have to have a purpose? Who says that purpose is given to us only by God? I think the purpose is whatever you want to make it to be, want it to be. But that doesn't mean there is one. Doesn't mean it's a bad place to live in or a bad thing to be a part of. Fucking fascinating what we're learning almost on a daily basis now. Scientists are discovering and learning in the labs. Inspiring to me. I think that's one of the I understand fully what Christians want atheists to feel because at one point I was a Christian and I understood it. I understood the feeling of, oh, after this life will be all eternally blissful. It'll be amazing and pretty. But you don't need that. You don't want to waste this life for that if it doesn't exist. I think our purpose is to be here. Otherwise, why are we here? Ooh, that's deep. Anyway, I don't think there's a purpose. Now, Christians are going to call that one a cop out. I'll give you that. I think I'm 4 for 4, but we'll go 3 for 4. I'll try to keep it fair. If you want to say it's three out of 4, I'll go 3 out of 4. This one's actually a pretty good one too. Some of these actually are decent. Some of them are just batshit crazy, as you can already tell. You say Jesus never. This is number 5. You say Jesus never existed, but have you heard of the Shroud of Turin? Yes, I have. It is like a linen cloth with what looks to be, I believe it's blood stained. The pattern of a face, like it was, the blood made the face, like the blood from an actual person, like sketched out a face of the linen cloth, and supposedly it's of Jesus. But there's no real tangible evidence that they're connected. It looks like a Middle Easterner's face from probably 2,000 years ago, or what you would imagine it to be. but it, not it's not sign. It's not Jesus. This is me. This is my blood paint. Blood paint. That's terrible. Yeah. Um. So I guess actually the answer to number five is simply yes. I can answer that one. I can. I just did. The answer is yes. I have heard of them. But I went into a whole rant. I didn't need to. You say Jesus never existed, but have you heard of the Shroud of Turin? Yes, I have. There's your answer. Okay, number six. So we are 5 of 6 or 6 for 6, whatever you prefer. I'm giving you the option, you at home, because of number four. We just went over it, Trav. All right, moving on. All right, off to number six. Why do we not see humans being born in the zoos from monkeys if we came from monkeys? Holy shit, what a great question that is. Because we're not monkeys. We're humans. We give birth to humans. There isn't one uh there isn't one case of there is no missing link. When this question just burned my brain. I can't even answer it. Evolution doesn't work in a sense of, okay, now I'm a human, but when I give birth to my son, he's going to be whatever the next thing is after humans. No, he's going to be a human too. It's a slow process. It takes thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and millions of years. There's no species that gives birth to a different species. Uh, Maybe that's not true. Like mules and stuff, those exist. Donkey. Donkey. Anyway, yeah, because we're not monkeys. I don't know how else to say that. Like, about as simple as it gets. Number seven. By the way, 5 out of 6 I've been able to answer so far. Not bad. For considering the list again is called Clever Questions Atheists Can't Answer. Well, I've answered 5 of 6. And if you're on my side, I've answered 6 of 6, in my opinion. But I'm giving you the fifth. All right, like I said. Number seven. Why do we go to church if God is not real? Um, why do people go to movies? Why do people go watch Star Wars? Why do people pay to go watch a Star War? Um, Maybe that's not bad. That's not a good analogy. Because you believe in it. Just because you believe in it doesn't make it mean it's real, but you believe in it. It's real to you in a sense that you believe. It's not real in a sense of true or false, real or not real. But if you believe in it, you're gonna go to church and support it. That's kind of a question. I'm gonna spend more time on it. Number 8. How did the Grand Canyon form? Again, much like evolution, it's a slow process. This is actually interesting. LiveScience.com has an article about the Grand Canyon. Um, there's actually some debate as to how the Grand Canyon formed. The consensus is that the Colorado River, over millions of years, uh, also, well, approximately 6 million years ago, carved the land. If you've ever studied rivers before, in college I had a physical geography class, and we had to actually go to a riverbed and study uh, where the river was now, but you could see it from like miles around, like as you walked um, perpendicular. to the river, like away from the river, you actually went up a hill because at one point the river was there, but it carved out. Um, why it's so steep, I believe, is because the type of rock. Like ours was dirt. When I took physical geography, mine was dirt. So it was like it expanded left and right as well as up and down. So it carved not only down, but it carved east and west, north and south. If that makes sense. Interesting too about the Grand Canyon is the layers. You can visibly see each layer um, in each cliff, and it those have helped geologists and other scientists to kind of help date the Earth, but also they're finding that there's no fossils that interlap. Like there's not a fossil of a chicken on one layer, and then like two layers up, another fossil of a chicken. Like doesn't exist. So it's kind of interesting. They're able to, you know, learn about the Earth through the Grand Canyon. Anyway, there's way more you can get into it, by the way. Like that just kind of it just scratches the surface of the Grand Canyon. Have a pun. My bad. Wah, 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 wah. Anyway, number 9. Do you know that Jesus loves you? I don't believe in Jesus, therefore I don't believe he can love me. So no, he doesn't. All right, so number 10, number 11, and number 7, all kind of the same thing. I'm going to answer the same way. Number 10, if Christianity is false, then why is it popular? If you say Christianity is not true, then why do hundreds of people continue to become saved every day? And going back to number 7, why do we go to church if God is not real? It's all kind of the same question, really. Because enough people believe in it that people will go. I mean, you can use the same logic with other religions. Like, if you're a Christian, you could ask. I mean, I can ask that same question to a Muslim. Uh, if Islam is false, why is it so popular? I mean, that's kind of a stupid question to ask if you haven't considered the other questions. Number 12. Why do we not see half trees and half carrots? Frankies and crocoducks if evolution is real. So, again, going back to number 6 about the monkeys and the zoos, and yeah, I don't think this person has a firm grasp of what evolution is, and just a couple of Google searches would fix that for you. I don't know what else to say to that. It's kind of the same question as earlier. Crocoducks, because they're different species. Again, one species isn't going to give birth to a different species. It's not the way evolution works. It's a slow, gradual process. We're just a little bit different than our parents. Slightly different than our parents. They're a little bit different than their parents, and we've evolved slightly. If you look at a picture of your dad and a picture of his dad and a picture of his dad and so forth for thousands of years, you're never going to see a big difference unless you change. If you go 7 or 8 generations at a time, you're going to see minor differences. If you go 20 generations at a time, you're going to see massive differences. But from generation to generation, you're going to see no difference. Starting to think this person might be like 15 years old. So, just reading the comments, yeah, he seems okay. I'm gonna put it this way: if it turns out that this author is like, or was like 13 when he wrote this, then I deeply apologize for making fun of a kid's work. The more reading into this, I'm like, I hope this isn't like some 12-year-old idiot. I hope I'm not making fun of a child. Is what I'm trying to say. Um, which is kind of sad if you think about it. I mean, I don't know if I'm reading an adult's body of work or a 12-year-old wrote this blog. Uh, yeah, it's the same question. It's, I mean, if I'm gonna leave you with that, crocoducks. That's all I'm gonna say from now on. Um, again, it goes back to my earlier answer. Um, to another question. A lot of these, if you just paid attention to one question, you didn't have to ask the next 14. Because that's not how evolution works. That's just how it is. Uh, evo- we're not mixing species. I shouldn't say we. Evolution isn't mixing species. It's not like taking a duck and a crocodile and making a crocoduck. Um, uh, that seems kind of embarrassing. A human would ask that. That's just not how evolution works. Um, all right. We're gonna do a few more. I'm actually gonna cut this off eventually, and then we're gonna finish up later on in the week. Chris and I will do the rest of the list, so we'll do a few more because yeah, this next one I kind of wish you would have asked this in a different way. 13 and 15 should be switched around. 13 is why is Richard Dawkins afraid to debate Ray Comfort? Now, Ray Comfort, looking ahead at number 15, is the guy who has a hilarious, hilarious YouTube video about how the banana fits perfectly into the human's hand, which is actually the question for number 15. My guess for number 13 though, just so I don't skip ahead, is why is Richard Dawkins afraid to debate Ray Comfort? I don't think Richard Dawkins. Um, I think he values his time too much to give a shit about Ray Comfort. That's my honest opinion. He's debated so many people. Ray Comfort's the guy you're gonna go to. Ray Comfort's your man that you want to put on the go debate Richard Dawkins. I don't think Richard Dawkins gives a shit enough about Ray to debate him. I don't think Ray's a big enough. Uh, yeah, he's no Ken Ham. Number 14 is not true. Did you know Christopher Hitchens was saved before death? No, he was not. That's a lie. That's been proven a lie. Number 15, we go back to Ray Comfort. Um, are you aware Ray Comfort disproved atheism with banana? No, he didn't. He made himself a fool on, with a banana. He was trying to say that if you look, you know, it's got so many sides that fit perfectly, and it's curved just perfect. But that's not what bananas originally looked like in the first place. Do a little research and you'll find out that bananas have been what's the word? Bananas are GMOs. They've been GMO'd. Um, yeah, the little demonstration didn't disprove anything except that Ray Comfort really likes to have banana in his hand. 16. Why do people laugh at evolutionists? Um, because stupidity is hilarious. Number 17. How did the planets form when the Big Bang explosion all of a sudden happened? All of a sudden happened. That's his writing. That's not me misreading. How did the planets form when the Big Bang explosion all of a sudden happened? After all, you don't see round objects form when something blows up. Whew. You see a ball of fire. So that's round. Gravity, stupid. Anything with enough mass after a certain point will begin to pull things in, and eventually it'll even itself out, and it's a fucking round object. It's gravity. Gravity works in all different directions. So the farther you get away, the less gravity you have. That's why it pulls evenly. Oh, man. Some of these are quite tedious. This one makes no sense. This is kind of fun. If evolution is real, how can it explain gravity, angular momentum, human emotions, and why we worship God? Bruh. None of those things are related. If evolution is real, why does Batman have a cape? I don't know. They're not related. Either is evolution and gravity. Either is human emotion. Well, actually, a human emotion we can get from, um, yeah, we can get it from evolution. Well, as far as that goes, you know, fear is it is fear an instinct? So yeah, six natural instincts: fear, anxiety, anger, depression, loneliness, and guilt. Like those are things we've experienced throughout our evolution. I don't think, I may be wrong on this, but I don't think you have to. Well, no, you can look at a dog's face and realize they're sad sometimes. Like you don't have to be a human to have emotion, and that definitely has nothing to do with why we worship God. So there's that one. Um, yeah, I'm only gonna read a couple more. I think I'm gonna be close to done here. I don't want to go too long on time, and I want to save a good portion for Chris and I to go over. How did how did pond number 19? How did pond scum make living things appear out of nowhere? Again, a slow process. And if you well, you know what? I'm gonna do it for him. Number 19. I'm gonna Google for him. I'm gonna highlight it and search Google. I'm gonna look at one of the articles. No, I'm not gonna break it down in my entire research strategy, but I do this a couple times to look at different articles and see if they match together. That's how I know if things are actual honest or not. You can find multiple sources saying the same thing. Usually, you got yourself a credible source, or two, or three, or four, and a credible story. I highly doubt that the person who wrote this article understands that. That's why I had to explain it, just to make sure. I'm gonna read this article kind of rather quickly. Yeah. So basically, what I'm finding is exactly what I thought I was. I just wanted to be a smartass and Google search for this idiot. Again, from earlier, it's a long, lengthy process. It's from the time Earth has been here until this exact second. It's been millions of years, or 6,000 if you're a complete moron. Um, yeah, the process takes a while. So, what was at one point water, dirt, eventually became microorganisms, which became a little bit bigger organisms, which became bigger organisms, which became this to that to that. That's the tree of life. Research it. Um, this is gonna have to be my last one. This is deadly, and I am going to read it in the accent that I believe this guy speaks in. Just for this question. Number 20. How can evolution be true if we don't see pocket watches or airplanes form by themselves? Because pocket watches or airplanes are alive. They're not living creatures. Is that a real question? Some of these I can't answer. This guy's right. Clever questions atheists can't answer because some of them are almost unanswerable because they're so ridiculous. How can evolution be true if we don't see pocket watches or airplanes form by themselves? I need to add some cricket sound effects to that. It's not alive. Evolution works with living creatures, not airplanes and automobiles and pocket watches. Pocket watches? That was your example, by the way. I get airplanes. Pocket watches? What are you, fucking... He's either 12 or he's like 75 and he's like in his basement with his little toy train set that he's putting together his entire life. He's like, hey, why isn't this pocket watch making another pocket watch? Alright, that's going to be it for me. I can't do any more of these solo. Thank you guys so much for listening. I really do appreciate it. When Chris gets back, we're going to answer, before we finish this list, we're going to answer a question we got asked just a couple days ago on Facebook. I also want to shout out, I haven't gotten a hold of him, so I don't want to say his name, but we got our first Patreon patron. I really do appreciate it to the person who donated. Again, I don't know if you want your name to be said or not, so I don't want to put you out there publicly. But thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. If you want to become our second or third or next Patreon, I should say, churchofatheism.com. No. No. Patreon.com/churchofatheism. You can become our Patreon as well. Again, thank you so much. We really do appreciate all the support, the love, the messages. We're starting to kind of pick up more and more, and it's really been a lot of fun, and I really do appreciate it. I kind of feel like I'm saying that more and more. Sorry if it's bothering you guys, but I really do appreciate the love and support. Anyway, we'll be back again next week. We're going to finish off this ridiculous list that atheists can't answer, even though I've answered 20 for 20, in my opinion. 19 for 20, I'll give. Yeah, we will talk to you guys next time.